fades. It's time to reveal a little secret that might surprise many, but will captivate all. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that blends the curiosity of many with a dash of intrigue. Are you ready to unravel the mystery? Do you want to discover a secret that's been whispering through the winds of time? Then join me on this journey as we explore the intriguing question: why do Japanese women love Filipino men? Before we start, please subscribe to support us. When people around the world think of Japan, a sense of fascination always follows. Japan is that one country almost everyone dreams of visiting at least once in their lifetime. The neon lights of Tokyo, the quiet peace of Kyoto's temples, the magic of cherry blossoms in spring. Japan has a way of capturing the imagination of the world. For decades, people have admired Japanese culture, from their art, traditions, and food, all the way to their modern-day influence through anime, manga, video games, and technology. Almost every country has felt Japan's touch in some way, whether it is kids who grew up watching Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece, or adults who dream of strolling through Shibuya Crossing or eating sushi straight from a Tokyo market. Japan has always been admired, but here's a twist in the story. While the world loves Japan, there's one question we don't often ask. What do Japanese people love? What do they admire outside their own borders? The surprising answer for many is this: Japanese women in particular have a very special place in their hearts for Filipino men. It might sound unexpected, but this attraction isn't a recent phenomenon. It's rooted in history, culture, and even personal experiences passed on for generations. To understand why, we need to take a step back and look at Japan's journey as a nation and how their relationship with Filipinos grew over time. Japan, centuries ago, was known for its terrifying warriors, the samurai, and the ninja. They were legendary figures who built a reputation for discipline, loyalty, and ruthlessness. Foreigners who encountered them in history often spoke of how fearsome they were. Fast forward to the 20th century, and Japan again showed the world its terrifying side during World War II. At that time, Japan was an empire feared across Asia and even the West. Their armies were powerful, their tactics brutal, and their actions left deep scars on countries they occupied. The Philippines, unfortunately, was one of them. Stories of the Japanese occupation in the Philippines during the war remain painful to this day, of how Filipinos suffered, how many lives were lost, and how women were taken as so-called comfort women. As strange as it sounds, even in that dark history, the Japanese showed a kind of twisted attraction to Filipinos. It was a terrible situation, but it also left behind a curious truth. Japanese men, and even Japanese society at large, always noticed Filipinos, our beauty, our music, our way of life. Fast forward to after the war, and Japan transformed completely. The country went from being one of the most feared in the world to becoming one of the most admired. Instead of armies and weapons, Japan conquered the world with cuteness, creativity, and culture. Hello Kitty, Pikachu, Studio Ghibli, ramen, sushi, J-pop, J-dramas. The whole world suddenly saw Japan as this unique mix of tradition and modernity. From terrifying to adorable, from feared to admired, that was Japan's story. And within this new Japan, a strange and beautiful thing continued to grow: the bond between Japanese women and Filipino men. In modern times, this love is expressed in many ways. Japanese people have fallen in love with Filipino music. One clear example is when Japanese bands covered original Filipino music. A famous case was when the Japanese rock band Kamikaze performed the iconic Filipino song Narda Live in Japan. It showed that even among their own thriving music scene, Filipinos have left a mark on Japanese ears and hearts. Filipinos are also admired in Japan's entertainment industry. Many Filipinos work in Japan as performers in live houses, singing OPM songs and even Japanese songs with a Filipino twist. The Japanese love this so much that Filipino singers are often recognized as some of the best in their communities. And it's not just music. Japanese streamers and YouTubers have often done street interviews, asking Japanese women about which Asian men they find most attractive or suitable for relationships. Time and again, Filipino men are mentioned. Why? The reasons vary, but there's a recurring theme. Filipino men are kind, funny, family-oriented, and most importantly, they know how to treat women with respect. Filipino culture values family so deeply that it shows in relationships. For many Japanese women who live in a fast-paced society where loneliness is common, The warmth of a Filipino man feels like home. Japanese society is hardworking, even overworked at times. Many Japanese women grow up in a culture where men are often too focused on their jobs to give much time to relationships. That's where Filipino men stand out. They balance hard work with laughter, affection, and emotional closeness. In Osaka, one of Japan's most iconic landmarks is the Glico Running Man sign. What many don't know is that nearby, there's a growing Filipino community. Filipinos are not just visitors, but also part of Japan's everyday life. In entertainment districts, you'll find Filipino restaurants and karaoke bars where Japanese locals happily sing Tagalog songs. The presence of Filipinos has woven itself into the Japanese cultural fabric. Even in anime conventions and cosplay events, Japanese fans have noticed Filipinos' passion for their culture. The truth is, Japanese women love Filipino men not because of superficial traits, but because of values and connection. Many say Filipino men smile more, laugh more, and show their emotions more openly than Japanese men. In a country where restraint and politeness often hide emotions, this openness is refreshing. It is no wonder that so many Japanese women say they would prefer to marry or date a Filipino man over others. But here's where I want to make something clear. While Japanese people and Filipinos share so much love and admiration for each other, it's important not to confuse this bond with politics. Governments have conflicts, whether it's about disputed seas, trade issues, or history. But the people, the ordinary citizens, often don't care about those political fights. Japanese people, especially women, don't look at Filipinos as rivals or enemies. Instead, they look at us as friends, partners, and sometimes even soulmates. And it works both ways. Filipinos admire Japan for its discipline, its culture, and its creativity. Japanese admire Filipinos for their kindness, their warmth, their joy for life. Despite historical wounds, the people on both sides choose to heal by creating friendships, marriages, and cultural exchanges. Think about this. In the Philippines, we eat Japanese food almost daily. Sushi, ramen, takoyaki, tempura. These are part of our lives now. In Japan, Filipinos have brought our food too. Adobo, pancit, lumpia, and Japanese people have fallen in love with them. It's not just love between individuals, it's love between cultures. There's another layer to this story. Japanese women who have married Filipino men often share their stories online. They talk about how different their lives feel. More warmth at home, more laughter, more singing and dancing, more connection to family. Some even say that being with a Filipino made them feel alive in a way they hadn't experienced before. These aren't just love stories, they were proof of something deeper, that cultures can complement each other in the most beautiful ways. It's not always easy, of course. Language barriers exist, cultural misunderstandings happen, but love always finds a way. Japanese women and Filipino men often overcome these challenges together, proving that what matters most isn't speaking the same language perfectly, but understanding each other's hearts. Even historically, the relationship between the Philippines and Japan has been complicated but close. From war enemies to trading partners, from painful history to cultural admiration, the journey has been long. Yet, out of all that, one thing remains consistent: a strange, undeniable connection between Japanese people and Filipinos. And perhaps that's why today, more and more Japanese women openly say they prefer Filipino men. It's not a trend. It's not just a fantasy. It's a genuine admiration rooted in how Filipino men treat women, how they bring joy, and how they carry values that align with what Japanese women seek in life. In the end, it's not about politics. It's not about the past. It's about people. It's about love. And that love, between Japanese women and Filipino men, is as real as the cherry blossoms that bloom every spring, and as warm as the Filipino smile that never fades.